Charles Leclerc was furious with his team during the last race. He lost the race because of a bad strategy. After the race, he made some outrageous comments about his team and winning this championship. Leclerc, who had been the fastest driver all weekend, appeared to be on his way to winning in Monte Carlo after leading early in wet conditions before his team made a series of expensive pit stop decisions. First, Ferrari failed to respond to Sergio Perez's medium speed, allowing the Mexican to undercut Leclerc and win the race. Then, Ferrari summoned Carlos Sainz for his first pit stop on slicks and Leclerc before asking him to stay out. But it was too late, as Leclerc had to wait for Sainz's stop to complete, dropping to fourth behind Max Verstappen. After falling from first to fourth place in the Monaco Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc criticized Ferrari's strategy failures, adding that his latest crushing loss hurts a lot. On team radio, Leclerc was enraged, yelling, "Why? Why? What exactly are you doing? The season is lengthy, but we cannot do that," he stated after losing out on a podium in Monaco. After the race, Leclerc told Sky Sports F1 that he had not been let down, although he did criticize his team for making poor decisions. "Mistakes can happen," Leclerc said, "but there have been far too many today." Obviously, you rely a little bit on what the team can observe in those conditions since you don't see what the others are doing with intermediates or dry tires. Ferrari's team boss Mattia Binotto had this to say about Leclerc's comments. "I've been asked if I want to go from intermediates to slicks, and I've answered yes, but not right now. That will come later in the race. But I'm not sure what prompted us to change our minds and continue on these intermediates. I was undercut and then stranded behind Carlos. There have been a lot of errors, and we can't afford to make any more." After the race, Ferrari team boss Mattia Binotto recognized his shortcomings. Binotto was in full support of what Leclerc had said before. "I understand Charles's unhappiness entirely. He was first, and ending fourth indicates that something went wrong with our judgment. So, clearly we need to review it, and I believe we miscalculated the pace of the intermediate at that point, and we could have called a lap for Charles earlier or later. Perhaps we should have let him outside on the severe wet before proceeding on the dry. These are mistakes that may occur, but more importantly, they are lessons to be learned in order to attempt to understand why they occurred, and I am confident that it is a process we will follow." In the championship, Leclerc is now 9 points behind Verstappen. Because he dropped from first to fourth, he had told us this about the communication with his team during the race. "It's difficult as it has been the previous years here, and I've become accustomed to returning home dissatisfied, but we can't do that now," Leclerc continued. "We are incredibly strong. Our tempo is fast. We need to take advantage of those possibilities, and we can't afford to lose this many points. It's not even from first to second, it's from first to fourth since we made another error after the first. I adore my team and am confident that I will return stronger, but it hurts a lot. I believe the first one was a pretty clear and very stupid judgment, and the disaster began from there. I'm not sure if it's panic, because I clearly don't hear all of the background radio in the squad, but this isn't for me to judge. Obviously, my message wasn't clear, and the last wasn't clear because I was instructed to come in, but then to remain out, but I was already in the pit lane. And that's where I essentially let it all out on the radio and shouted because I knew I couldn't do anything, and I was done." Leclerc is still a champion, and no matter how many races he loses, he will always come back stronger. Let's see what the future holds for this young champion. Until then, that's all for today.